Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be back, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. It's gonna be y'all. It means that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, you guys? Hey, come on in. We can't dally tonight. Because I'm already coming on here late, and I got about an hour, okay? Because I still got to pack. Don't you say nothing. No, I'm not done packing. Everything is in the suit. Everything is in the suitcase. I know what I'm taking. It's just not packed yet. And I still got to get my trash together. And I just got, you see, that's my carry-on bag right there. My book bag. You see, that's my carry-on bag right there. I just got some stuff to do. So I wasn't going to go live at all, but I said, I do want to come down here and talk a little bit about Stefon Diggs' trial. And shout out, hold on. I don't want to say your name wrong. Somebody reached out to me today about Marcellus Wiley, and I got to change the title because I put Marcus Wiley in the title, and it's Marcellus Wiley. But I need to talking about these accusations, and I was like, oh, we talked about that a long time ago. That must be some new stuff they talking about. Well, come to find out, he got some new accusations against him, because if you guys remember, we actually read the lawsuit against him. So it's some new information. So we're going to talk about that. It is still Teacher Appreciation Week. So you can appreciate the teacher that's in front of you, or you can appreciate your child's teacher, your favorite teacher, your neighbor that's a teacher. It's also Nurse Appreciation Week. So make sure you are thanking the nurses that are all around you as well. So yeah, we're going to, hey, Reese's. Hey, girl. Really be. Can you please answer a single question? My husband and I are having a debate. What color is the original mambo sauce? Oh, child. I can't give you that answer. I'm not getting in the middle of that domestic dispute. Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. You're going to have me answering the question all in the dark blind. And if I'm wrong, then either I'm siding with you or I'm siding with him. And then I done started a whole nother argument, part 2, in y'all household. I love you, girl. Good luck with that. But no. But thank you for being a member for 72 months. I hope that don't make you stop. I hope that don't make you stop, girl. Thank you, Rock Chick. Thank you. Child, right. Whatever color you say, you right. You the wife. If you say whatever color you say is the color it was. I agree. Whatever you said is the color it was. Yep. With you. Where was mumbo sauce originated? I mean, they say here, but child, shit, I don't know. Thank you. One of my subscribers got this shirt for me. Thank you. And at the bottom it says, we told y'all. I actually had ordered this as a picture. I was going to put it back on that wall. I thought it would have blended really nicely, and I got it big enough for the wall. I ordered it the day we did the candles, Cheryl, because y'all remember me asking y'all what dimensions, and y'all helped me with making sure it was the right dimensions for that wall. And I had ordered that picture, and I never got my picture. And I emailed the company like, they, when I paid them, of course, I got a nice little email saying, thank you for your order. We'll let you know when the tracking number, when your order's on the way, we'll send you your tracking number. And I didn't hear anything. So I emailed them like at the end of February and I was like, hey, it's been about a month. I haven't heard anything. What's going on? So then they didn't respond to that email. So I emailed them again, like sometime in March. Didn't hear anything. So finally last Monday, technically Sunday, I sent them a nice little email, Oh yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I forgot Cinco de Mayo too. I sent them a nice little email. And a friend of mine ordered from them and she got her picture. That's how I found out. I went to her house. She had the picture and I was like, oh, I want that. So that's where I know that they have legitimately sent people there. And she said one of her coworkers got the picture too. So I know it was legitimate, And so I sent them an email last Monday and I said, hey, well, like I said, last Sunday. And I basically said, hey, I ordered the picture on this date. This is what I ordered. You emailed me and told me you received my money. But then I have reached out to you on this day. I reached out to you on that day. I haven't heard anything back. You haven't said, you never responded one way or the other. You never said, hey, these orders generally take X, Y, Z. Because even if they had responded and said, well, these orders generally take anywhere from 6 weeks. They might take up to 6 weeks. This is, the type of, they could have said, hey, the type that we make, it takes a little bit longer. I'd have gave them more time because I want the damn picture. I said, at this point, I've reached out to you guys. I paid on January the 31st. It is now almost May. And I haven't received my money or my picture. And I said, I haven't received a picture or a tracking order. I said, I'm going to give you guys 3 business days to either refund my money or send me a tracking number for my product. Or I'm going to do a dispute with my credit card company as a fraud. And I don't want to do that because I believe this is a Black-owned business. And I really don't want to do that. But if you had just said, like if they had just responded and said, hey, we're sorry, this is taking longer than usual, blah, 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 blah. Like, let me know something, baby. They never responded. So Thursday, I put in a dispute with my credit card company. So I'm waiting to hear back. It's still under dispute. So they asked me, when was the last time I reached out to them? Did they respond? Blah, blah, blah. So, and I hate it because I really want the picture. I mean, I already paid the money. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I want my money back if I'm not going to get my picture, but I really want the picture. But anyway. You down to the happy hour, Cheryl? Cheryl said happy hour almost over. Child. So, anyway, that's my story time for today. Let's get into it. So, let's get into Marcellus Wiley, and then we'll talk about Stefon Diggs. So, for those who don't know who Marcellus Wiley is a former NFL player who was on Fox Sports. He is his wife was on one season of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And he had some accusations against him that go all the way back to his college days. And then there was someone that he worked with. And of course, he said that none of it was true, that it was just a money grab, yada, yada, yada. Well, he has since left Fox Sports and he does his own podcast now. He's the one that made, I don't know, we first started talking about him because he made some comments about transgender athletes. And so we first talked about him when he made those comments. And then his wife was on the Real Housewives. And then these accusations came, around the same time as Diddy and all those other accusations came out. Tracy said the bar is open. We have a peach, blackberry, and spicy pineapple margarita flight, a tangerine paloma, and a toasted pecan old fashioned. Well, you know what I want. Right. That's the one who said his wife was 80%. Yep, that's him. That's him. Halfpin. Ooh, she was probably on like maybe 3 seasons ago. Yeah, that's the one that said she was only on 1 season. That's the one that said his wife was yep, that was him. That's the same one. Yep. And we thought, like, great, let's get she must have been before Garcelle. Was she before Garcelle, y'all? She must have been before. I feel like She was the nurse. I don't think it was before Garcelle. I think Garcelle was the first full-time Black woman on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So she might have been overlapped with Garcelle because she was there with Crystal Minkoff. And so, because wasn't Sutton the one that questioned, no, wasn't Sutton the one that questioned whether she was a real nurse or something? Who was it that was questioning her being a real nurse? Who was that? No, she was on the show with Gravely. Who was Gravely? Y'all gotta tell me who these nicknames are. I don't know all these nicknames. I feel like they came the next season, maybe. Okay. I'll Google it. I'll Google what season she was on, but I know it was a few years ago. But I feel like Crystal Minkoff was still on there and Sutton was on there because one of them questioned her being a real nurse. I feel like it was Sutton ass that was talking about whether she was really a nurse or something along, or I don't remember. But remember, she lived in the same neighborhood as Kyle. It was Sutton and Crystal. Yeah, I thought so. Because I actually, to be fair, I felt like she deserved another season, even though I wasn't crazy about her husband or his politics. But I have a hard time with these one and done housewives because I feel like there's just a learning curve. And, sometimes they come on the show and they do too much. Sometimes they do too little. I think sometimes that you got to find your sweet spot. I mean, unless you do something egregious like Britt Eady, where now you suing. And when I say she did something egregious, I'm not talking about Kenya. I'm not saying Kenya didn't do anything to her, but we're not going to act like she didn't come from Kenya from the door. Like she did. And then she sued. Like, of course, if you filed a lawsuit against the network, why would they bring you back? It was season 13. Oh, well, that wasn't that long ago. Huh. Okay, so that was only 2 years ago. Because we're on season 15 now. That's why I feel like Angel over on the Real Housewives of Potomac deserved another season. I honestly feel like if we could get Angel and Jay, what's her name? JJ, what's her name? Jazzy. What's not Jazzy? KK. I really feel like if we could have got KK away from Angel, I think we might have got a different Angel. I mean, this year she actually does live in Potomac now. Karen is going to be full time. We've got the whole dynamic of Stacey. We got Monique kind of as a friend of, and I just feel like I personally feel like Angel deserved another season. Did I know Dr. Nicole and Dr. Tiffany have a YouTube? No, I know both of them do social media. I didn't know they did something together though. I love Dr. Tiffany's. Her social media is hilarious. Did NECA deserve another season? I think so, yeah. Yeah. I think what NECA did was really bad as far as bringing in the cultural things with Wendy and with all of that. But I feel like, I feel like I don't put all of that on her. Some things I think production should step in on, and production should say, whoa, we're not doing this. And I know people's like, well, that's not reality. This is their reality. Like, I get it. But some things, especially when we start talking about other people's cultures, I just think when we start getting into other people's culture and we talk about tribism and things that we as Americans and Black Americans really have no concept of, I honestly feel like they should not have even explored that. I mean, that's just my opinion. Oh, you felt like Bravo was trying to have a Nigerian woman face off. I think Bravo was definitely, but let me say this. I have a big issue with production on Potomac anyway, because I feel like production on Potomac have allowed a lot of things that I feel like should not have been used as fodder for a TV show. If it was a real storyline, that's one thing. But the whole thing with Michael, I feel like I didn't like the way that was handled, with Michael allegedly touching men and crossing certain lines. Because again, I feel like If he had touched a woman the way he touched a man, it would have been a different conversation. And I don't like that double standard. I don't like we're not going to allow we're not going to allow we're not going to handle it the same way as if it had been a woman. If Michael had done or been accused of doing to a woman what he was accused of doing to a man, I just think it would have been a different response. I absolutely did not like the storyline with Giselle and Candace's husband, and I did not like that at all. I felt like that was very dangerous, and I just felt like that's a game we just don't play. You playing with people's livelihood. You playing with people's potential freedom. Again, I didn't believe Giselle. I'm sorry, and I know some people might say, "But that's messed up. You should believe a woman." I just didn't. I did not believe that what Giselle accused Chris of doing, Chris was guilty of. I just don't, and I think it was a very serious accusation, and I think it was used as a storyline, and I don't think production should have allowed it to happen. Even going back to and I'm not arguing season 5, please understand. But even going back to Monique and the paternity of her child, I just think there's certain, now if it's real, that's one thing. If Monique really was out in them streets, and I'm not talking about it came from a rumor that somebody said that they heard. I'm talking about real shit. Monique was literally pregnant with this child. And I just think that's a lot. Now, when what's her name? When Sharice made those comments about Karen sleeping with the dude in the bathroom at the Mexican restaurant or wherever it was, I don't think that was a bridge too far, because she said it. Karen was able to address it, and it sounded so ludicrous that even if it were true, it was just ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's anything that was going to, in the long run, hurt Karen. And it's damn sure ain't going to hurt Karen worse than what happened the next year with the DUI, right? But accusing somebody of sexual assault and turning a blind eye to sexual, it just, I don't know. So I have a problem with a lot of things that Potomac has allowed to happen. And maybe I'm more sensitive about Potomac because it's my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Well, not my neighborhood, but like my city, my area. I don't know. Because I felt the same way about certain things that they've allowed to happen on Atlanta. Like, I didn't like the fact that they allowed Kenya to insinuate that Kim Field's husband was gay. Like, I didn't like that. Like, that's her husband. Again, if you have some proof, if it's some concrete stuff out there, but just to be like, I don't know. There's just certain things that I think, again, if it's the reality of what's happening, like on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island with Rula, that's real shit. Like, it's out there. Like, there are police reports with Rula and you know what I mean? And all of that stuff. That kind of stuff, that's different. But just to be, well, hey, new deal, new me. Hey. Told y'all Bravo wanted Kenya. What you mean Bravo wanted Kenya? What you talking about? I totally understand why Candace dog Giselle the hell she does lie constantly. Let's be extremely clear. Oh, well, yeah, she definitely does. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about when you say I told y'all Bravo wanted Kenya. What you talking about, boo? Did something happen that I don't know of? Did Kenya she just got hired back? Did something just happen? Bravo allows these people to go too far, sees the fan reaction, and then want to start firing people. Britt said, wait a minute, hold on. Britt said they said she couldn't come back. If she wasn't filming with Kenya. Wait a minute, what? Britt said Britt said they said she couldn't come back if she wasn't filming with Kenya. Okay. And everybody is thinking that Kenya is blackballed on Bravo. Kenya is blackballed on Bravo. Is Kenya back? Did Kenya film for the Ultimate Girls Trip when they brought back all the damn housewives except for like when they brought back 5,000 housewives? Did Kenya film? Did I miss that? Was Kenya on the Ultimate Girls Trip? Hell, they let Nene film on the Ultimate Girls Trip for the 10-year anniversary of Housewives, or 20-year, whatever the hell it was. Did they let Kenya film? Oh. They were strategically moving this lawsuit out the way first. Right. And until that lawsuit is over, you are not going to see Kenya on Bravo. Until that lawsuit is resolved, you're not going to see Kenya on Bravo. So my opinion stands. My opinion doesn't change just because what Britt Eady said. Remember, Britt Eady filed a lawsuit. She can say whatever she wants to say in the lawsuit. Those are her, that's her side of the story. That's her version of events. Bravo has their version of events. Now, I don't know what Bravo was going to say because I don't think Bravo, I don't think they addressed, did they respond yet or did they address? They're trying to get the lawsuit resolved. You know? So, get it thrown out or whatever. So my thing is, and I hear what you're saying, but my opinion hasn't changed. And because I can sue you and say whatever I want to say. You're going to respond and say whether it's true, it's not true, you agree, you disagree, and then it goes to court, and a jury decides whether which one of us are lying or not. So just because Britt said it, just because Britt Eady said, "Hey, Bravo said that if I came back and Kenya came back and we filmed together, it would have been in Bravo." I don't disagree. Let me say this. It could be true that that's what Bravo said, because doesn't that work in Bravo's favor? If we can get Britt, who's suing us, who's saying that Kenya did this, and this to her, if we can get her to agree to sit down and film with Kenya, we can get this lawsuit thrown out and everybody's happy. Yeah. Do I think that Bravo wanted to find a path to that? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't say Britt was lying. What I'm saying is, just because Britt said it doesn't, I'm not going to say, oh, Britt said it, so that makes it true. That's like reading one of these lawsuits about Diddy and believing everything that somebody said that Diddy did. Just because they filed a lawsuit saying Diddy did this and Diddy did that doesn't make it true. The lawsuit was filed after the offer, but I'm with you, my love. So what I'm saying, and I hear, listen. I don't hate Kenya. But I hear what you're saying, but that what you're saying does not change what I said. My opinion stands. Bravo is not fucking with Kenya right now. Can it change? Sure, it can change. Anything could change. But right now, they ain't fucking with Kenya. And the fact that we really haven't seen Kenya too many other places. Now, I know, didn't Kenya just film for some reality TV show that's going to come on Netflix or Hulu? Didn't we see that? She filed with some other reality star, I think Tamar and some other people. Didn't we see her? Rumor is Andy has said he loves her since then. Well, he said he loved Nene too. You know. Listen, baby, I hear you. Keep hope alive. That's all I'm gonna say, baby. Keep hope alive. I want to see Kenya win. I don't think one mistake I said this. We said this yesterday. I don't think one bad decision or one mistake defines somebody. I don't think Kenya should be chastised for the rest of her life for making a bad decision. But I still feel how I feel right now. I feel like right now Bravo ain't fucking with Kenya. That's just my opinion. But anyway, but keep hope alive, girl. You twirl on over there. That's Team Twirl. You twirl on, honey. And again, like I said, I don't wish her bad. I don't wish her bad. I really don't. She'll be back since the lawsuit is dismissed. The lawsuit was not dismissed. Unless that just happened today. The lawsuit wasn't dismissed. Britt withdrew it and refiled it. She withdrew the lawsuit in one jurisdiction and refiled it somewhere else. The lawsuit has not been dismissed. Oh, you said once. Oh, okay. Once it's dismissed. Got you. And it may very well get dismissed. Yeah. Because I think what Bravo's argument is going to be is basically this fell under the umbrella of, this is what they do, All right, let's get into it. So let's read this article, and then we're going to talk about Stefon Diggs' trial. Oh, let me see here. We done went down. Y'all know how we do. We done went down the rabbit hole. So let's read it. The former ESPN star Marcellus, I keep saying Marcus, sorry y'all. Marcellus Wiley is facing new accusations. The former NFL pass rusher who worked for both ESPN and Fox Sports following his retirement is facing new disturbing accusations. And this is dated May 5th, so this is today's date. A former ESPN production assistant has accused Wiley of SA. The new allegations were filed in court last month and recently obtained. The 4 new accusers joined the 3 other women who previously sued Wiley, the first of whom came forward in 2023, alleging that he RAPE'd her while he was a football player at Columbia University in 1994. Wiley responded to the initial suit on his YouTube show, calling the claims BS. In a 2024 court filing by Wiley's then lawyer, also denied the allegations. Now, they said his then lawyer, so does that mean he don't have that same lawyer anymore? I wonder. Interesting. The former ESPN employee alleged that Wiley led her to his hotel room under the guise of a work meeting. All right. Now, the article says, warning, the next area is graphic. So let me say trigger warning, because I haven't read through this whole article. So they said the next part of this article is going to be graphic. Okay. So this is her account of what she claims happened. When we went to his room, Wiley excused himself to use the bathroom. He emerged from the bathroom naked. He pushed me up against the windows of the room so hard I thought they would shatter. I was petrified and believed I was going to be unalived. I repeatedly pled with him to stop and to let me go. He would not. He pushed me face down on the bed and kept me there with my face pressed into the mattress in such a way that I had difficulty breathing, which made me fear for my life. Wiley held me down and masturbated over me until he ejaculated. Only then did he allow me to leave the room. Another accuser, meanwhile, alleges that Wiley assaulted her when she was a minor. Wiley, who played in the NFL from 1997 to 2006, he was a second-team All-Pro in 2001. ESPN has declined to comment on the latest accusations. Wow. That is interesting. That is. Thank you to be Rosie. We're talking about Marcellus Wiley. Ooh, listen. Now, I didn't get the details of that second accusation. They didn't put all of that in the article, but she's accusing him of assaulting her when she was a minor. And I'm not going to say the age, but I don't mean 17. I mean like Celeste Rivera's minor. That is ridiculous. And my thing is this. I don't know whether any of these accusations are true. I can't speak to that. I can't say, well, just because he was accused, that makes it true. I can't speak to that. But I mean, here we are. What I think altogether they said we talking about 7 accusations. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to be wrong. Hold on, let me go back to the beginning of the article. It says that he's facing new accusations. So he originally was accused of. He has 4 new accusers that joined the other 3 women. So we're talking about 7 women over the last. The first one was from 1994 when he was a college student. From 1994 to the present, are saying that this man. That's a lot of women. And we're not, unlike with like Diddy, once Cassie's story came out, all of these other stories came out. These stories have sort of kind of trickled in. That doesn't mean that doesn't make them true or make them false. I'm just saying they sort of in. If I remember the original lawsuit correctly, and we did a video on it probably about 2 years ago when all the Diddy stuff first because it was filed. I'm sure Tracy pulled that case. We did a video on it. If I remember correctly, the student when he was in college said that they dated and then she broke up with him and then he did something, or they were studying and it was something in the dorm room. And I don't remember all of the details, but I know it was while he was in college and it was in the dorm room. That was the first accusation I remember. But yeah, I would have to go back and reread his lawsuit. Wait a minute. We need to pull this lawsuit back up because all this wasn't going on. When we read it, we read the one from his college days. Right. Yeah, I remember the one from his college days. Hold on, let me see if I can find it in my email. Child, hold on. Wake up, everybody. M-A-R-C. Was it C-U-E-L-L? Shit, how you spell that man name? Marcellus. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Pam sent this to me. Because this looks like... Hold on. Is this Pam? Is this it? Hold on. Maybe it was Pam that sent it to me. Hold on. Is this it right here? Oh, no. This is something totally different. Hold on. Hold on. That's something totally different. Hold on. Let me get the right spelling of his name. Marcellus. Okay. Hold on. Child, I got so many lawsuits in my Marcull. Did I say that? Marc. Oh. Cellus. Lord, child. CE. That's what I thought. I was like, that don't look right. Cellus. Cellus. Wiley. Let me see what comes up. Nothing comes up. I know we had the lawsuit. I remember reading the lawsuit. All right, y'all. I have to find it. I don't want to hold up too much, but I know we got it because Tracy. I remember we read the lawsuit, so I know I had it. And I don't delete those type of emails unless it somehow fell into a junk email. I don't delete that. Let me see. Let me just try to do his last name. Let me do Wiley. Wiley. Nope. All right, I'll look for it. But I do remember we read it because we talked about the fact that it was the dorm room and all that other stuff. Yeah. But that's a lot, though. That's a lot. I mean, 7 women in the last 6 or 7 years to accuse you of. And here's the thing. The stories are all like, well, let me say all. I only remember the last three. Because what was the one about the ES the other one was with his assistant. Well, I mean somebody that worked at ESPN, right? Yeah. Is this case civil or criminal? This is civil. Yeah, this is civil. This isn't a criminal. To my knowledge, this isn't criminal. Yeah, this one is an ex assistant on ESPN. Now, this one is relatively new. She's saying this happened in 2023. So she's not saying this happened a million years ago. She's saying this happened in 2023. Now, as far as the one about she said it happened when she was a minor, I don't know how old she is now because it doesn't give any details of that particular case. The article I just pulled, hold on, let me see. Let me see if I found another article, if it'll give me more details. Let's see here. All right, here's US Weekly. You know, US Weekly, they go put it out. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what US Weekly says. NFL player and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills husband child. Look at that. That lady was on that show for one season. They were going to put Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in there, but this is US Weekly. Former pro defensive player, blah, 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 blah. Wiley, 51, blah, 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 blah. Played 10 seasons, blah, 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 blah. New allegations mean a total of 7 women have now accused him dating back to 2023. So the first lawsuit was filed in 2023. Okay. Alleged that Wiley lured her. Oh, no, I apologize. She said this happened in 2009. So I apologize. I thought this was a relatively new thing, but no, she said this happened in 2009. So, you know. Okay, I'm not going to read that again. The other accuser said that she first met Wiley when she was a minor, and then he showered her and her family with gifts for 5 years until she turned 18. She said, okay, see, now this is, you know, that other article made it seem like he started violating her when she was a minor. No, she's saying he groomed her is what she's saying. She's saying that he met her when she was, I'm going to go ahead and say the age now. He said that he met her when she was 13. And that for the next 5 years, he showered her and her family with gifts. And she said that on her 18th birthday, he violated her. So that's a little bit different than what the last article I felt like was trying to insinuate that he was physically violating her at 13. That's why I was like, oh, I'm not reading that. Okay. So that's another accusation. She's saying that if Columbia University, where he attended college, had properly pursued the complaints, I would never have been groomed and violated by him. Now, that's what she said in her lawsuit. The other 2 women claim Wiley violated them in California between 1995 and 1999, spanning from the end of his college career to the beginning of his time with the Buffalo Bills. Wiley took to his YouTube channel on May the 5th and denied the allegations against him. Quote, he says, I'm going to continue to challenge all of these false accusations. I'm exposed to inconsistencies, break down the film, and confront what I believe to be attempts at causing harm to my reputation through legal coercion or legal extortion. They're trying to leverage lies for their personal gain. As they say, assassination by accusation. That's their goal. They're trying by lying. They don't want justice. They want ice, money, bling, things. So that's what he said today on his YouTube channel. The new accusations came as part of an effort from one of the 3 Jane Doe's accusers from his Columbia days to turn her previously filed case into a class action. Oh, so that's why these. Okay, so the Jane Doe sounds like she's been doing some research and she found these women. So it doesn't sound like these women just came out. Looks like they said that the Jane Doe is looking for women to try to file a class action lawsuit. One of the women claimed to have reported the alleged assault to the school, but was advised by the dean not to go to the police in an effort to protect his reputation. She was allegedly told that Wiley would be placed on probation. Another accuser claims she reported the alleged incident to the university and was told that Wiley would be suspended. The third was allegedly told by the university that any disciplinary action against the star football player would have to wait because the Lions had a big game coming up against Princeton. By promoting, protecting, and evaluating a sexual predator, Columbia University created a false image of Wiley, thereby enabling Wiley's vicious propensity for rape and assault. And this comes from the attorney Laura Gentile, who represents the three women. That was written in the court filing. Of course, Wiley denied all of has denied all of this. Excuse me. Okay, now that gives us a little more insight. I'm going to start reading 2 or 3 articles because that gives me a little more insight. Because now, oh Lord, Tracy said check my email. Okay, baby, I'm about to check it now. Now that gives me a little more insight because now it doesn't sound like these women just randomly came out of nowhere. It sounds like they did report it, well, at least 3 of these women, they did report it in college that these things allegedly happened while he was in college. These women allegedly reported it in college. And now the Jane Doe, through her attorneys and investigators, have found these other complaints, and they've gone to those women and they've talked those women into coming out and telling their story. That's what it sounds like. Now, as far as the incident that allegedly happened in 2009 when he was already out of the NFL, I don't know. I don't know how they found her. But the ones while he was in college, so it's not like, why'd they wait 20 years to say something? It sounds like they said something. Oh, Lord, Tracy. Okay. I told y'all I don't have long today, y'all. It's already, see, I can't be here all night, y'all. I'm serious. I really got it. I have not packed yet. Hold on. Tracy sent it to me. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. It's 19 pages. Hold on. Child, I can't be here all night. All right, hold on. Let me scroll down a little bit. Hold on. What page is this? All right, hold on, y'all. Oh. Hold on, let me put on my reading glasses. Let's read through here. I ain't gonna be here all night, y'all, because I ain't packed yet. I mean it. I ain't packed yet. I got my stuff in the suitcase, but I gotta put it in the suitcase. And I gotta wash my dishes. I can't leave no dirty dishes in the sink. I gotta wash my dishes. I gotta get my trash together. My goodness gracious. Okay. All right, we're gonna read a little bit though. Yeah, honey, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I can't read it tomorrow. I'm not coming live tomorrow. And if I do go live, I'm not gonna have my computer with me. I'm gonna be and baby, this time tomorrow, I'm gonna be on a plane, honey. I'll be on a plane. Praise the Lord. Okay, hold on. All right, let's read a little bit of this, child. Got my reading glasses on. All right. I appreciate you, Tracy. I don't want to sound ungrateful, honey. I'm grateful. This wasn't a good day for us to be doing our detective work. Okay, hold on. All right, so let's read through some of this. This is the lawsuit that was filed today. Okay, so this is today. Well, it says received. Hold on. Let me go back up to the top. Shoot, today, forget it. It'll say May 5th, child. May 5th of 2026. All right, let's read through this. The RAPE and assault of Jane Doe and Columbia University's callous and abusive response. So let's read through it. In the fall of 1994, defendant Marcellus Wiley was a Columbia University sophomore star running back. Unbeknownst to the plaintiff at the time, Columbia University had received multiple complaints from female Columbia University students beginning in the fall of 1993, all of which alleged that the defendant, Marcellus Wiley, had assaulted them and or RAPE'd them. On or about October the 27th of 1994, the defendant invited the plaintiff to his dorm room that evening at Wien, W-I-E-N, Residence Hall at Columbia. Marcellus, who towered over the plaintiff at 6'3", 250 pounds, lived alone in a tiny, narrow, single dorm room. Child. The defendant's room was crowded with belongings, many of which were strewn about the room. He was messy. When the plaintiff arrived at the defendant's dorm room that evening, the conversation shifted from getting to know the plaintiff to Wiley pursuing the plaintiff to have sex. The plaintiff said no. Wiley told the plaintiff that he really wanted to have sex with her, saying that the plaintiff shouldn't worry about getting a negative reputation from all the football players that saw the plaintiff walking to Wiley's room, because he would have prevent any scandal as long as he could continue having sex with the plaintiff. What? The plaintiff again said no and told him she was not interested in anything but being platonic. Wiley began to get angry and threatened the plaintiff, saying he would tell everyone that the plaintiff indeed slept with him regardless of the truth, and suggested that unless the plaintiff relented, everyone would believe that she was a slut. Riley said no one would believe her version because of who he was on campus. The plaintiff said no. Wiley paused, shifted the subject briefly, saying the plaintiff was too uptight and needed to relax. Wiley cranked up music on the stereo and began to talk about classes, how much muscle he had put on during the summer, and he on his shelf, and he said he claimed it was given it to him by Shaquille O'Neal. During the small talk, which he used to try and distract plaintiff, Wiley stealthily moved from his desk chair opposite until he was just inches from the plaintiff on his bed now, shifting the topic back to how much he admired the plaintiff's athletic physique and said he wanted to touch the plaintiff's leg and body. Wiley then swung the plaintiff's legs on the bed, lunged towards her, overpowered the plaintiff, pushed her down on the bed, and pulled her clothing aside. Wiley held the plaintiff down while he assaulted her, whispering in her ear the entire time, saying, "Relax, enjoy it, stop crying, and stop fighting." Wiley was so frenzied and aggressive that he never removed most of the plaintiff's clothing. Plaintiff's sneakers, sweater, shirt, and shorts remained on the entire time that he violated her. Immediately after this, the plaintiff felt frozen on Wiley's bed, staring into the ceiling in horror. Wiley stood up and commented that he wondered if the guys in the hallway had heard her. He grabbed his towel and asked the plaintiff to relax, as he said he was stepping out of the dorm room to shower. When Wiley returned, he saw the plaintiff was still crying. He told her it was getting way too late, and my girlfriend is coming, so you have to get yourself together and get out of here now before she sees you. Plaintiff went back down the hallway, passing the same students on his floor and down to the security desk to recover her ID. Plaintiff did not leave immediately, but sat in the food court gathering her thoughts. Shortly thereafter, the plaintiff watched Wiley come downstairs to sign in his then girlfriend, who was another Barnard student, and greeted her with a hug and a kiss like nothing had happened. Plaintiff returned to Barnard. The defendant, Marcellus Wiley, had cranked up the volume on his stereo, blasting his music loud enough that no one outside the defendant's dorm room would hear her if the plaintiff screamed. This behavior by the defendant, who has claimed to have amassed 107 noise complaints in the first month at Columbia, was routine and did not draw the attention of other students living in the defendant's dorm. Child, 107 noise complaints. He didn't get put out the dorm? The hell? I guess he was a football player. Plaintiff did not consent to the contact by Wiley. The following day, the plaintiff reported the assault to Jacqueline Blackett, who was an athletic administrator at Columbia University, and asked her to help the plaintiff navigate the university's procedures and pursue SA charges against Wiley. Columbia University administrator told the plaintiff that she should not pursue the complaint against Wiley without her speaking to him first. She delineated a list of disadvantages in pursuing the criminal charges and the difficulties the plaintiff would face if she filed an on-campus complaint. Blackett cited the honor code and insisted that she should speak to him to get his side of the story and then give the plaintiff more guidance. However, Blackett said she would not speak to Wiley immediately because he had a big game coming up against Princeton that weekend, and she didn't want to destroy his concentration. Because we don't want to mess up his concentration. Columbia University Administrator Blackett told the plaintiff that because she took a shower after Wiley assaulted her, there was no evidence of the RAPE for criminal prosecution. She told the plaintiff that if she pursued a complaint through the school, her own reputation would be tarnished. She said that the plaintiff's complaint would not be anonymous and the plaintiff would be known as the girl who destroyed a black man's NFL dream. Yeah. When plaintiff returned to Blackett's Columbia Athletic Administrator's office on October 31st of 1994, she told the plaintiff that she had spoken to Wiley, and her advice included contacting the Crisis Center anonymously for counseling and to put the experience behind her. She wanted to preserve the plaintiff's reputation as a first-year student athlete. She said both male and female athletes had already started talking about who the plaintiff was and the sounds they heard coming from his dorm room. She also said that because the plaintiff was a Barnard student, she would not have grounds to pursue any complaint through Columbia. Plaintiff was not given the proper steps to report the incident according to Columbia's sexual misconduct policies. Jacqueline Beckett, who was a faculty member, the plaintiff saw daily, had been mentored and trusted. Nothing was done to protect the plaintiff from further harm or protect any other women at Columbia after having reported this incident to the athletic administration. Wiley went on to RAPE other women. Wiley began harassing plaintiff at Dodge Fitness Center and taunting her prior to his suspension. Or what he get suspended for? Well, wait a minute, hold on. They didn't tell us nothing about no suspension. Hold on. Well, where did he get suspended? What did he get suspended for? What he get? It says when Wiley returned to campus after his suspension, he continued to harass the plaintiff. Well, why did he get suspended? I mean, did he get suspended for something else? Did he get suspended for this incident? It doesn't tell us. Okay, it said that after his suspension, he was harassing her at the fitness center, as well as before, during, and after a class they both enrolled in. Ultimately, the plaintiff had to drop the class and left her on-campus job at the fitness center because of Wiley's harassment and the lack of protection by Columbia. After being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression resulting from the attack, plaintiff became a volunteer at the Rape Crisis Center hotline and participated in Take Back the Night. Okay, yeah. I met the other women. Okay. Oh, okay. This is important. I'm sorry. And Take Back the Night, an organization aimed at ending sexual relationship and domestic violence, where I met other women who shared stories of being RAPE by Wiley before and after the time that Wiley assaulted her. Okay, so that's important. Okay. I thought they were just getting ready to give me her resume, and I was like, Columbia University arranged for the defendant to be placed on an academic probation, or maybe he was suspended for academic violations, the basis for which was listed on the defendant's records as poor grades rather than for sexual assault. Defendant Marcellus Wiley was required to complete the next 2 semesters from home in Los Angeles, but was not officially suspended, nor was the plaintiff's allegation reported to law enforcement. The sexual assault on plaintiff is an offense as described in New York. Okay, yeah. Plaintiff suffered. Okay, yeah. On the following months, plaintiff learned. Okay. Over the following months, plaintiff learned that Marcellus Wiley had assaulted several other female students prior to the plaintiff's assault, and that some of the defendants had reported the assaults to Columbia University without any meaningful response. Oh, she about to sue Columbia. Hold on, let me see. Is Columbia named as a... Hold on, let me go back up to the top. Hold on. She's suing... Oh, she is suing Columbia. She's suing Marcellus Wiley, the trustees of Columbia University, and Columbia University. Oh, yeah, she's suing Columbia. If this is true, I don't lost my page, child. Where was I? All right, hold on. Columbia University arraigned. Okay, I just read that. All right. Plaintiffs. Okay, suffer. Okay, over the following months, the plaintiff learned the defendant. Okay, I just read that. Okay, without any. Okay, I read that. Additional allegations. Upon information and belief, the defendant is a serial sexual predator, raping and sexually abusing numerous individuals at Columbia University. The Columbia University defendants engaged in a pattern, practice, and policy of abusing victims of rape and sexual assault, failing to properly respond to allegations, and attempting to coerce victims and to not report an assault to the police, attempting to coerce victims not to proceed with disciplinary charges against the assailants, covering up allegations. I'm trying to skip because I don't want to keep saying the same words over and over again. Y'all know YouTube don't like those words. I'm trying to skip over every time they say it. They done said it 20 times. Failing to discipline Columbia students and other personnel who did those things, creating circumstances that enabled and allowed. Okay, we got it. Ciao. So to go back to, it does not sound like these women did not report it. It sounds like nothing was done. It sounds like a lot of these women reported what happened in real time. And I would be interested to find out the ESPN correspondent. We don't have her lawsuit, but I would be interested to see when she reported it. Because just because we're finding out about it today doesn't mean she didn't report it back in 2009. Because it sounds like there were multiple complaints based on this lawsuit, that there were multiple complaints made back then. I need to go back, Tracy, and find the original. I'm not going to do it now because I can't do it now. But I want to go back and find the original lawsuit that we read a couple of years ago. I wonder if this is the same woman and she's just like amped up her lawsuit, or if that was a different story from another Columbia student. I remember it was when he was in college. I do remember, but I wonder if it's one of the other accusers. I'm gonna have to go, but we're gonna have to find it. What I may do is go back and find the video and just listen to the video, because I don't know why it's not in my email. It's different. So it is different. Okay. All right. Well, you guys, listen. We'll see. Did I take my medicine? Y'all, did y'all see me take my pills? Ugh. I hate when I do that. I hate when I can't remember if I took my pill or not. I don't remember. The original has her name listed. So the other lawsuit is different. So that's at least 2 accusers in that same window of time. Some of this stuff is easy to prove. I mean, did that lady work on campus that she said she reported it to? Do you have, like, get her under oath, which I'm sure they're going to subpoena her. I'm sure they're going to do all of those things. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right. I don't know if I took my pill or not, but okay. I don't think I did. I don't remember taking it now. Okay. Well, let's talk about Stefon Diggs real quick. You guys know that Stefon Diggs was found not guilty in his assault trial. The trial lasted 2 days. Now, I dipped my head in a few times today while I was at work, and it just didn't seem like it was going well. It didn't seem like it was going well for this woman, for this lady. Now, I'm gonna read y'all a little bit of this about a little bit of what happened today in trial. The jury, it sounded like Andrew hit me. Andrew sent me a message. She said, "Girl, they just went to the bath. They took a bathroom break. Baby, it took them 90 minutes to come back with not guilty." Hold on. Now, the defense calls attention to deleted messages. I'm just going to read you some of the highlights from today. It says that the messages that were deleted by the accuser were ruining that bitch's life, which was sent with a fairy emoji. Why that's important is because, as you heard from Officer Ellis this morning, it'd be important to know if somebody deleted messages. You think that might have prompted the question, hey, who's the bitch? He said the deleted messages show the argument wasn't about money, but about another woman. Why would a person who was just strangled go down to the kitchen, chat on the phone, and not have a single mark on their face? Not look remotely bothered? Why would that same person cook dinner for the man who just assaulted her? Why would that person knock on the door and deliver 2 birthday presents? Now, these are all things that happened after the alleged assault. She deleted messages that the deleted messages was saying something along the lines of, I'm gonna ruin that ruin his life. There were no pictures, there were no of any assault. Like, even with the police, like, usually police will take pictures, but there were no pictures or anything like that. She definitely, from what I understand, was not a credible witness. Girl, they weren't in there and finished off the Subway sandwich and chips they had. Right. Like, 90 minutes is really not shit. Like, if you've ever served on a jury, you know that it take you 20, 30 minutes just to get inside, get all your stuff together, and then you got to go through, you're supposed to go through all the evidence and go through all of that. Listen, 90 minutes ain't ish. 90 minutes ain't ish. But from what I saw today, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. And I don't even know why. I mean, other than this is a black man in New England, I don't know why they even filed this lawsuit. Stefon Diggs, hairstylist, describes interactions with the chef. The hairdresser testified that Adams stated she was going to sue him for wages and take it to the blogs. But she never said she was assaulted. Natalia Moss took the stand. She testified she was present at a hangout with Charles and Adams. She denied seeing marks on Adams. Moss testified the videos showing Adams dancing and laughing, and denied that Adams said anything against Diggs that hurt her. Right? Did y'all see that video of her dancing? And that happened allegedly after the assault. The financial planner took the stand. Melissa Goddard is the next witness called by the defense. She works at a boutique accounting firm with Diggs as a client. Goddard said at the beginning of November 2025, she was in charge of payments to Adams as her capacity as a Diggs personal chef. Goddard says she received an incorrect invoice from Adams that included requests for payment for weeks that had already been paid out. Upon auditing the situation, Goddard and Adams submitted the same receipt several times. Goddard said, that Adams submitted the same receipt several times, and that she had been overpaid by about $2,500 with an additional $744 that was unclear. She said that she reached out to Adams twice about the overpayment, and Adams never responded. The massage therapist, testified. The massage therapist says she provides Diggs with a massage twice a week. She gave Diggs a massage the day of the alleged assault. She testified that Adams came into the room and had a brief interaction with Diggs, and she said that Adams seemed to be okay. She said she didn't see any marks on her head, on her face, and she didn't seem to be upset. The day of the alleged incident, Sales, I don't know who Sales is. She discussed the happenings of the day, which included her hair appointment and planning flights for a trip to Miami for Diggs' off week. She said she purchased a flight for Adams to go to Atlanta. She said that Adams was running around the house to sign a birthday card for Diggs to go with a gift for him. Sales said she didn't notice any injuries on Adams' face. She said she didn't hear anything unusual like slamming doors or screams that afternoon. The chief of staff took the stand. Oh, that's who the chief of staff was. Sales is the chief of staff. Okay. Y'all, listen. It honestly sounds like a woman scorned. And I think she leveraged racism and his bad reputation that people would just automatically believe her and go along with her story. That's what it sounds like to me. I think she just thought up here in New England, we know that New England don't have the best reputation as it relates to black men. And I think which it sounds like she played that right, because it doesn't sound like this case should have ever gone to trial. Like, it seemed very clear yesterday that this case should have never gone to trial. That and did y'all even prep her? She didn't even sound like she was ready and prepared to testify yesterday. Like, it was bad. Once the accountant proved that she lied multiple times and the accountant was new to his personal accounts and had never worked with her. Right. I also think the information yesterday about the door and who had access to the door and how many times the access code was put in the door, when they showed yesterday that it's questionable about whether Diggs was even actually in her room that night. I mean, it sounds questionable that he was even in her damn room. Anyway. Well, look, y'all, I gotta go. I knew I wasn't gonna be regularly live for the next couple of days, so I wanted to come down here and give y'all a little something, but I really do have to go. It's almost 9:00, and I gotta pack, and like I said, I gotta wash these dishes, and I just gotta get my life together. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. All right. Thank you, Tracy, as always. Thank you, Andrew, for the updates, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.